Hi, welcome to this typical Muhly production video. Today's video is about the top 20 of 2021, and the way this is going to work, I'll do 5 honorable mentions and then I'll go through my top 20. I hope you like it. They're not always the most quality photos, but they're the ones that meant the most to me throughout the year. So sit back and watch, and I hope you like the video. So the first honorable mention is Muhly Sunset, and this didn't quite make the list, but it's a beautiful photograph. We got the doe and the 2 bucks and just a beautiful purple golden sunset. Just a cool photo. It just wasn't quite good enough to make my top 20. The second honorable mention is called Heron in the Fog. It's a beautiful photo of a blue heron in the fog. Was he perched on something a little more natural? This probably would have made the list, but just not quite good enough for the top 20. Honorable mention number 3 is called Golden Great Gray, and this is honestly one of my favorite photos. If he wasn't sitting on that orange fence post, if it was a branch or something like that, this would definitely be in my top 20 for this year. But the unnatural perch kind of hurts this photo. Didn't quite make the top 20. Honorable mention number 4 is called Stare Down. It's of this nice bighorn ram. Had the photo been a little better, a tad bit sharper, would have made the top 20 easily. It's a picture of a beautiful ram on my bighorn excursion, but not quite good enough for the top 20 this year. And the last but not least of the honorable mentions is called Looking Back. So this beautiful pine marten looking back, and honestly, I had a hard time not putting this photo in the top 20. Just a beautiful pine marten, but in the end I just couldn't quite put it in the top 20. Beautiful photo though. That was the 5 honorable mentions. I hope you liked them. There's some good photos there. Now let's get into the top 20. So this photo was taken on January 18th of last year, and it's a beautiful picture of a dark-eyed junco in a lilac tree. And you could see it was a frosty morning. There was fog, and just left the branches of this lilac tree just covered in frost. And I love the contrast between him and the white on the branches, and also the contrast of the yellow leaves that haven't fallen off the tree yet. Just a beautiful scene, beautiful bird. The only thing I wish that would have been better on this, I wish the photo was a tad bit sharper and his eye caught the light more. But other than that, beautiful photo. I love how it turned out. Just one of my favorite photos of the year for birds, and so it made my top 20. This photo of this fox squirrel was also taken on January 18th, the same day, in the same area, and this beautiful fox squirrel is in this aspen tree, and as you can see, these ice crystals had formed on the branches of the tree. And the thing I really like about this photo is the contrast between him and the white. Like, he just pops. And I know the photo's a little busy. I know it's not tack sharp. But man, this photo, it just brings out emotion in you. You can just feel the cold in the air with this photo. And this beautiful fox squirrel gave me an opportunity to take a picture of him, and I really like it. And so it made my top 20. This next photo is of 3 male hooded mergansers and a female hooded merganser. And I just like this picture. It's one of my favorites that I caught all year. These three males are guarding this female merganser, and I call it the love triangle. You can see why. They're kind of positioned in a triangle around the female here and just standing guard. And they're such beautiful birds, beautiful markings. I was lucky to catch these mergansers in this formation, and it was a cold January morning, and this picture was taken in January 28th, and they were out on the river. And I just happened to see him and stop by, and they allowed me to take some awesome photos. And this is definitely one of my favorite photos of the year, and easily made my top 20. This is an awesome photo of a cedar waxwing. Just a beautiful bird. I love the head tilt. I love the hawthorn bush he's sitting in. I love the berries that are still hanging on there. And it's just giving you this look like, yeah, what do you want, you know? I mean, it could be a tad bit sharper, but it's, oh my gosh, just beautiful photo. They're such pretty birds. And he's got the tuft on his head. Looks like he's got an attitude. Just beautiful bird. This picture was taken January 28th. It was on the same day that I saw the mergansers, just a little ways down the river from the mergansers. And just happy that I got the opportunity to take a picture of this guy, and definitely deserves being in the top 20. This close-up of this great gray owl was taken on March 5th, and just a beautiful bird. I know of this area that they like to winter at, and I went out to take pictures of these great gray owls, and the lighting on this evening was just amazing. Caught him right at golden light. He landed really close to me. He was just out hunting, and this picture is so striking. Just the detail in the feathers, those piercing gold eyes. Oh, just great gray owls are one of my favorite birds, and this might be my favorite bird picture of the year. Just a gorgeous owl, beautiful colors, beautiful lighting, good detail, just a good photo. Oh, definitely one of my favorites of the year, and definitely deserves to be in the top 20. This picture of a great gray owl, I really like the posture that I caught him in, with his wings spread out like that. And this picture was taken in March 8th. And like I said, I was out again this day taking pictures of these great gray owls, and he came in and landed on the top of this tree, and the branch started bending over, and so he had to catch his balance, so he was spreading his wings here, and I just happened to catch him in this pose. And what an awesome picture. I mean, they're such beautiful birds, and you don't realize how big their wings are till they're totally spread out like that. Though I wish the lighting was a little better in this photo. I wish, the tips of his wings were a little sharper, but other than that, I just love the pose. Those gold eyes of these great gray owls, they just mesmerize you. And one of the best photos I took this year, and I love it, and it deserves to be in the top 20. So I love this picture of this red-breasted nuthatch. This picture was taken March 18th, and just a beautiful bird. I love his pose, and the picture turned out really well. The pose, the bark background, the little seed he's got in the tip of his beak, the light that his eye caught. Just amazing photo, and really love it. And the background on this is I was out during lunchtime while I was at work, and I came out during lunchtime in the park, local park, just to go out and take some pictures of birds, see what I could find. And this little guy showed up, and he allowed me to get this awesome photo of him, and I'm so glad that I did. And this is definitely top 20 for me, and deserves to be there. So this picture of this bald eagle was taken March 26th, and I was actually out on my bighorn excursion when I saw this eagle, and he's in this old snag in this really steep canyon, and I saw him sitting there, so we pulled over and got a picture of him, and this picture turned out great. I love the snag. I love the broken off top of the tree, the moss on the branch, and his pose is just regal pose, and just the sharp image and his beautiful pose and the background kind of blurred out canyon wall. Just a beautiful picture, beautiful bird. It turned out great and definitely deserves to be in the top 20. This is one of my favorite pictures of the year. I caught this coyote on May 31st, out hunting in the grass in this field. And man, just the pose, him pouncing for his prey, the beautiful wildflowers. The only thing I wish the image was a little sharper, but man, I love the pose and the action, and we watched this guy for probably half hour, 45 minutes out hunting, and I was lucky enough to catch him while he was pouncing for a vole, and it was pretty just a cool moment, and it was an honor to sit and watch this animal do what he does best, and natural behavior. Because in my area that I usually photograph, coyotes don't really let you watch them. They know you're there. They leave in a hurry. So this was a real treasure for me and a real cool moment, and one of my favorites, and definitely belongs in the top 20. So this picture was taken on June 6th of this beautiful bull elk just on a dead run. And the story behind this is we were driving, heading home, and we saw these elk out in this field, out in this alfalfa field, and so we stopped, and they, like most elk, they got spooky and they started running, and I had my shutter speed high enough and everything to catch this bull on the dead run, and I love how this picture turned out. A beautiful bull in velvet, still early growth, and just a full gallop, all 4 feet off the ground. Elk are one of my favorite animals. They're so beautiful and so majestic, and this is no different. And just the action in this photo makes this picture deserve to be in the top 20. And I am glad I was lucky enough to catch this image, and like I said, it deserves to be in the top 20. This image is my favorite image of the year. It was taken July 10th, and I saw these 2 bucks out feeding in the evening, and so I stopped and got some pictures of them, and they just let me watch them. They're just out feeding, and just 2 beautiful mule deer bucks. And I know I'm biased. I know my username's Typical Muley, so I'm a little biased towards Mule Deer, but this is one of my favorite photos I've ever taken, and this is definitely my favorite photo of the year. These two bucks are just beautiful. They just sit here and pose for me on this picture, and I like how sharp the image turned out. The beautiful green foliage behind him, the aspen trees, and the wildflowers, and just an amazing photo. And I was lucky to catch these two bucks, and this definitely deserves to be in the top 20. This picture was taken in July of 2021, July 17th, and this is also one of my favorite pictures of the year just for the beauty of it. I was lucky enough to catch this white-tailed doe and her fawn. I was out one morning just trying to take photos, and I saw these two deer here, and in this field full of wildflowers, and by this aspen, and just beautiful lupine and white wyethia and just geraniums and sago lilies and all kinds of stuff. It's a beautiful picture, and they just posed for me and looked right at me. And this picture definitely deserves to be in the top 20 just for the beauty of it. It brings out emotion in you, just how beautiful this picture is, and definitely belongs in the top 20. This photo was taken July 18th of 2021, and this photo is amazing. It's an amazing photo of this sago lily with 3 beetles in it. We got 2 small beetles that look like eyes, and this other bigger beetle that looks like a nose. And just a cool photo. Kind of gives the impression of a face, beautiful colors, beautiful beetles. I like the kind of fuzzy, blurred out background of it. Just an amazing photo, and definitely one of my favorites of the year. Turned out great, super crisp, super sharp. Love this photo. Definitely belongs in the top 20. This photo was taken September 5th, and this is an awesome photo of a chipmunk, and he's eating on this grass head, and you can see the grass head sheaths falling as he's eating the seeds out of here. And I was actually sitting on a water hole during hunting season, and caught this guy. He sat on this dead stump, and just an awesome photo of this chipmunk. The light, the light that's caught in his eye in this photo is amazing. The detail is amazing. Just a beautiful picture of a leashed chipmunk, and I was glad I had the opportunity to take this picture. The lighting's awesome. It was golden hour, and this photo belongs in the top 20. This photo was taken October 9th, and the story behind this is I was out trying to find some moose during the rut, out calling for moose, and I happened to see this pine marten, and I'm glad I did. I've been waiting years to get good pictures of a pine marten, and this pine marten just posed for me, both paws on the branch, just staring at me. This is probably my favorite photo other than that mule deer photo. Just awesome picture of a pine marten. The pose is amazing with both his paws on that limb and him standing straight up and down looking right at me. Just a beautiful animal. I love pine martens. They're one of my favorite animals. And just the story behind this and the pose is the reason this deserves to be in the top 20. So this picture of this little bull moose was also taken October 9th. And this is when I was out calling moose, trying to see if I could get some photos of them. And the story behind this is pretty cool. We saw him out in this big willow flat. And so I started calling, and he came on a trot. And if you notice, he's got a little bit of drool falling out of his mouth right here, and I just love his pose. I love how sharp this image is, the detail in it. Just beautiful, beautiful little bull moose. It was an amazing experience. I had my brother with me when I took this photo, and he was helping me call as well. And so it's just a great photo, and definitely deserves to be in the top 20 for this year. So this picture was taken November 20th. This beautiful whitetail buck. I was out looking for whitetails during the whitetail rut, and this buck is actually in my video, Whitetail Rut 2021. So check out my other video that this buck's in. It's a cool video about the whitetail rut. But anyway, I was out looking for whitetails during the rut, and I saw this guy, and he's just a beautiful buck, and he sat here and posed for me, and I was sitting in my truck and taking pictures of him, and he was just watching me, curious, seeing what I was doing. But just what a beautiful picture. The light in his eyes. The only thing I don't like about this picture is the fence in the background, but it's all right. You take what you can get, and just the beautiful pose, the sharpness of this image, and just this beautiful, graceful whitetail buck is the reason this deserves to be in the top 20 this year. So this picture was taken November 21st, and this beautiful mule deer buck was out chasing does during the rut here, and I was out looking for rutting mule deer, and this buck is actually in my Mule Deer Rut 2021, so go check that video out as well. But I love the pose right here. This fawn sitting here looking at him, and he's kind of checking her out, kind of nosing her, and she's just staring at him, and just the pose, his head's just the way his head's down like that, kind of checking this doe out. Just a beautiful image. I love watching mule deer out on the winter range, and this is an amazing buck. And just the pose and the rutting behavior here is why I decided this deserves to be in the top 20 this year. This photo was taken November 27th, and this is my favorite mule deer I saw all year long. He's so big, so beautiful, just a trooper. And if you notice, the deer hunt was going on at this time, and if you notice where his neck meets his back, somebody had grazed the top of his back with a bullet, so he'd been shot, and he was doing fine when we saw him, so hopefully he survived. But just a beautiful buck, one of my favorite pictures. Granted, it's not the most sharp, the framing's not that great, but just the pose and the elegance of this buck, and the colors are cool. He had really reddish brown antlers. Just a beautiful deer. And the reason this photo made the top 20 is more for the experience and the emotion this experience brought out in me when I took this picture, than anything. And this buck's also in my Mule Deer Rut 2021 video, so go check it out. And that's the reason this buck this photo belongs in the top 20 this year. And rounding out this year's top 20 is this beautiful photo of this bull moose. This picture was taken on December 4th, and as you can see, it was frosty outside. It was cold that morning. This bull had frost on his back. All the sagebrush is covered in frost, and I caught him just as the sun was coming up. And the lighting is amazing. His pose is amazing. The only thing I wish his face was a little more clear from the brush, but like I always say, you take what you can get, and this big bull moose, he posed for me on this beautiful December morning. The lighting is amazing. The frost on his back is so cool. You can see the white of his eye as he's kind of staring back at me, and just a beautiful bull moose. And the sharpness and the lighting and his pose is what makes this photo worthy of my top 20 this year. And so this rounds out my top 20 for this year, and this bull definitely deserves to be in the top 20. Thanks for watching the top 20. I hope you really liked it. Hey, in the comments, let me know what you think about the pictures. Also, let me know which one is your favorite and why you liked it the most. And if you like this video, please like, subscribe, comment, and hit that notification bell. And remember, live in the moment, enjoy the memories. Thanks for watching.